Will AC Shadows kill the franchise if it fails? Depends on what you mean by fails. I can't imagine a world in which it's so bad it kills the franchise. Like that industry analyst, he said that, I forget who he worked for, but one of those industry analysts that looked at all this stuff, he guesstimated that based on the amount of money that these franchises generate, AC and Rainbow Six, just those IP should be worth over $7 billion. A good amount of that being Assassin's Creed. People who are not Assassin's Creed players don't realize how freaking gigantic those games are. Assassin's Creed as just a franchise is huge. It's like people that don't play FIFA and then, or I guess now FC. It's like when they don't realize how big that franchise is. It's like, no, that game makes billions of dollars. It's like, what? I've never bought one. Yeah, but a lot of people do. Then a lot of people spend all their money on it. So like AC Shadows is huge in terms of scope and scale, and they also hope to generate a lot of money long term. Valhalla made over $1 billion, and that was as of a couple of years ago. Mirage sold millions of copies. So I don't see a world in which like AC goes away or anything. Like AC still has a dedicated fan base. Like really at the end of the day, all that's going to happen, there's kind of two outcomes. Ubisoft postpones a potential taking of the company private to maybe even a buyout. They postpone that, and it just continues being business as usual for the next few years. That's if AC Shadows does really, really well. If it does pretty well, or even okay, all the way down to like terrible, I think it still will lead them to a situation where Tencent comes with some management cooperative agreement with the Guillemot brothers to either take the company private or to restructure it, because they just as a financial firm, there's just some problems with how they're structured and some problems with how they have been running things. You know, industry analysts are saying, yeah, they have 20,000 employees. Based on the money they make, they should have maybe 10. Yeah, going back to what the initial prompt was from Fearless Wolf, I agree with the sentiment that a lot's riding on AC Shadows, but the franchise isn't riding on it. It's, even if Ubisoft imploded, the AC franchise would still get sold to somebody because it's so valuable, because there's so many people that play those games. So, you know, it's not anybody who's telling you like the AC Shadows or the Assassin's Creed franchise is like on the line. They either have no idea what they're talking about or they're lying, because the franchise is gigantic. It just is. Like, you don't have to play it for it to be massive and gigantic. I don't play FC. I don't play Madden, but one bad Madden release will not kill Madden. One terrible FC release will not kill FC. Like, those games and franchises are gigantic. So what I think is the most likely outcome is AC Shadows releases. Probably does pretty good. They've got 300,000 pre-orders. It's about in line with AC Odyssey. AC Odyssey ended up doing pretty damn well, but it was a slow burn, especially over the long term. I think it's going to be the same thing with Shadows. It's going to do pretty well over time. Beyond that, like, I think it'll do pretty well. It'll probably do about like Odyssey did. I don't think that's enough to hold off Tencent and investors, because I think investors smell and taste blood in the water. So I think, you know, what happens on a corporate business level is somewhat inevitable. But as for the game itself, like I think it'll probably do pretty good, but we'll see. A lot of it depends on the reviews. If the reviews end up being really, really good, sweet. Like, that could help them a lot. But I think unless it's in like the 90s or something, it's probably going to end up being received and selling pretty well. But then the same stuff's going to happen kind of no matter what.